In conclusion, you may be able to hear some bluey in the background because part of my culture is being a mother and being a single mother at that. When I graduate from Boise State, my children will be graduating with me. They have fought right alongside me for my degree, and I have held their hands as we have ran together, um, and they have held mine. So, being a single mother is definitely a part of my culture. I was also raised by a single mother, and so I guess I have a lot more empathy for single mothers and see it as a sense of community from people that are around me. So I think that is important to identify in myself. Um, I took a previous conflict course and was able to identify my conflict styles. And based off of my culture, I think I'm understanding why I like to resolve conflict in certain ways. I'm very goal orientated. I am very driven to work hard, and I have a little bit of perfectionism within me too. Um, because I am both the matriarch and the patriarch in my family. And I also believe in those old school values that I was raised with from watching my grandparents and how they raised a family. Um, I think that I handle conflict in a way that almost a man would. Um, so I think that's important for me to identify. I very much have a masculine sense of things. And um, when I am in a conflict situation, I do think that I tend to focus more on my goals instead of compromising to fit the needs of others. I am very much patriotic, blue collar, and I don't like things handed to me. I like to work for the things that I have because that's what I've witnessed in the past. My grandpa always had dirty hands. My grandma was always baking bread. Um, and that's how we squeezed our dollars. We also were farm to table type of people. We had chickens that we butchered every fall. We went hunting every fall and winter for deer to stock our freezer. Um, and when we did harvest chickens, like we used the whole chicken. All of the feathers were used for pillows and mattresses, and I learned how to quilt from a young age. There's a lot of old school mentality of me being brought up that way that I still carry on to my family now. Um, but I would say that things are a little bit more modern in the sense that I am the matriarch and the patriarch in my family. We do have technology available, and I really don't have the time to do farm to table, but it is in my dreams and my hopes. Um, at the end of the day, I have had so much different types of experiences in my life. Um, and I do have to give a nod to my religion and my faith. Um, that really has placed me on the path where I am, and I see blessings as a result of my faith every day. Um, Being from a single mother, I didn't really get to know my dad's side of the family that much. But when I did, what I noticed was addiction and rampant addiction at that. I actually fell into the clutches of addiction for a long time. And it wasn't until recently when I got sober that I realized how far down that addiction really can go and how much of a hold it has on society right now. Um, so now that I am clean back in school, I have a new driven motivation to continue my education to be a social worker. And hopefully that route leads me to addiction studies and addiction counseling as a clinician. So I am still trying to figure out who I am, what makes me tick, how I can become a better person every day. These are all things that I continue to aspire for every single morning when I wake up. But I'm also thanking God at the end of every day. So those are kind of the things that make me tick. But I would like to add that without understanding that happiness is something that you perceive, the chase for happiness and finding the happiness is what continues this dang rat race that we find ourselves in. If you can find happiness in the small moments and truly try to live in the moment, I think that's where we find satisfaction in ourselves. And thank you very much for listening to this really long ending. This was a fun project. Thank you.